What is burning? Okay, you can't see my button anymore. Too gay. So do you. I'm going to say, yo, my lips is wet. My whole blood wet.
So,
They've got D'Angelo Russell. James is out there with Kelly Oubre. Then there's LeBron James. And it's Drummond in at the 5, roaming the paint. And we're here in the Western Conference semifinals of the NBA Cup. The excitement has been building to this do-or-die moment.
Yeah, even though this game counts toward their regular season records, they're not thinking about that. Each team just wants to get to the championship and show that they are the best in the West.
And it's Green missing. Drummond finds James. Right side, Russell. And the layup is good.
Well, I tell you, Russell looking very comfortable taking on aggressive defense and getting the job done. That's good focus on his part. Boy, you've got to appreciate the passing there. Results in a great look.
And so James will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. And can anyone stop this team right now? They've won a stunning 25 games in a row, and there seems to be no end in sight.
And what's crazy about it is the teams they've knocked off. I mean, they have been dominating during this stretch. It's basically been the whole league that has felt the wrath of this crew. They're in the conversation now for one of the all-time great teams. They've got the target on the back, but it doesn't seem to bother them one iota. All they do is continue to win.
Thompson's shot is off. Here are the Lakers now, and they've been winning at a high level this season. Most games not even close. Their point differential is sky high.
Yeah, a lot of their games have been essentially over by the third quarter. Blowouts, big margins, really astonishing the dominance they displayed over the course of the season. I'm not sure we've ever seen a team so consistently dominant.
And Houston has possession, following the score by the Lakers.
Well, you will not see that from him very often, especially right at the rim.
Drummond passes to James. Three-pointer, no good. The Rockets have gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. Such a wide-open look.
Green lethal off the catch. Good rhythm on that play.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. This one for 3. And there's James on the assist from Drummond. Drummond's got 3 assists tonight.
Boy, they're on fire right now, cooking with gas, starting this one out 4-5.
The 3 from Bain. Drummond grabs the miss.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
And that one drops. James has got 7 points in the game.
He's so good at creating his own shot. He's just got...
That's what's cursing me. You gonna clock it? Hey, did you forget you just solo out there? Damn. You really can't say that much. Okay, like sometimes. I don't mean to make you one man. Fucking hate this one. Yeah, you dropped off. You just forgot about me and shit. You was out there faking and smoking and shit. Like, fuck here. Damn. I was saying fuck here.
An endless supply of moves. LeBron James.
The three from Thompson. Rebound by the Lakers. They're fresh off a win against the Pelicans.
They were lights out from beyond the arc, and they spaced the floor beautifully in that one.
There's all kind of talk in the game today about stretching the floor, because when you do that, everything else just becomes a little easier.
He's been playing great, unselfish basketball, really putting the rock in the hands of the right shooters.
He is delivering a lot of room service times tonight. One sweet one after another.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And fellas, I think you have to like his improvements over his free throw numbers from a year ago. It's not a significant number or a huge amount, but it's improvement nonetheless.
And here's Green from the arc. Oh, he missed that one. 1 for 3 in this one so far. Los Angeles leading by 8. Pass to James. Back to Drummond. Unloads from 13. Again, the Lakers score.
I just love the ball movement.
What's on it, man? You was talking to me? What did I say? What did you say? See how that's all I was doing off there. I said, once we win there, you like, this shit, all right. It's always the same. This is the best shit, dude. I'm telling you, they really do. What are you? Because I get sweet. So I work off of this.
And here in the first quarter, a little over 3.5 minutes played. Clark, what's incredible about LeBron? He makes as big of an impact off the court as he does on it.
B.A., I think it's going to be one of the great case studies when he's all done playing, how he's impacted the game and uplifted people across country and world. He's a tremendous advocate for social justice. He's obviously a shrewd and successful businessman, and he's been a vocal leader who also leads by example. He's actually epitomizing the change he'd like to see in other folks, and inspiring along the way. That's a big turnaround right there. LeBron answering right back with the three. He knows momentum is in the balance, and he wants it to swing.
Why you taking a I'm not taking an extra. I'm not done this shit just to get ass coffee and shit. What you doing there? You done. Are you done? Huh?
His way.
Now here's Green. What a tremendous game he played against Portland. Jacks up a three. Drummond grabs the miss.
He's looking pretty unsettled at the moment. Doesn't seem like he has a great feel for his shot.
It's James on the wing. That one falls, coming off a Drummond feed. Drummond's got 8 assists in the game.
Tell you what, he has been feeling it, guys, and the best game plan right now, it's elementary. Just keep feeding. Let him eat.
Now here's Thompson. He's coming off a 10-point game against Portland.
And let's not forget about the assist. His playmaking was critical for this team.
Payne, no good.
He expects to make every one of those, and we expect him to make them too.
Stolen by Bain. Outside for Green. Smith with a screen on James. And it's Green missing.
Boy, this is bad. Tough to watch. I mean, this is really bad. He's stone cold this quarter. Man.
And it's good for 2. James has got 19 points.
What an exceptional start for him. Draining 8 of his last 9 shots.
Green for 3. Rebounded by the Lakers.
You hate to pile on, but his poor shooting night has really hurt the team.
Here's James. Again, the Lakers score.
Guys, this has been an incredible performance this quarter. I mean, he's getting the ball where he likes it and wants it and just going to work.
And timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. And Houston making a change here. Eason's checked in. And looking at overall steal numbers, here are the teams that continue to wreak havoc. 5th best, the Rockets.
This team will punish you for sloppy ball control, no question. They've got a lot of fast-handed guys just waiting to take advantage.
Pass to Şengün. Outside Eason. Smith with it to snap the cold streak. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
This is Smith's game. Set him up and he'll knock him down.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Hi, guys. Well, Dean, their last time out against the Pelicans, really lit up the floor. He contributed 52 points and put up double digits in 3 categories. He was locked in all night long. We'll see if that focus carries over into this game. Guys?
Okay, Allie, thanks. Well, that was an incredible night for him. They rode him to that win.
And he was more than happy to carry them, B.A. He might still be feeding off that performance heading into this one.
Yeah, you know, all indications are that he feels good coming into this. Feels confident that he can build on that prior success.
Knocks down the triple.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
And so it's Green who brings up the ball for the Rockets, trailing by 17. Pass to Eason. And the layup is good off the glass.
He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end.
James with the ball. He's got 21. It's James on the wing. That one falls, coming off a Drummond feed. James has got 24.
Boy, I like their energy coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, you know, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
This has not been his best quarter.
You know, guys, it seems to me as though he's over-anxious. He seems to be pressing, trying too hard, moving too fast. Just needs to calm himself down and wait for good shots.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
Now here's Drummond. Had a career game his last time out. Bucket after bucket. Pass to James. Up and over Smith. That one's good from James on the assist by Drummond. And he's got 28 now.
And their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Here's Smith. He has 6. Thompson outside. Will it go? And the slam dunk by Thompson.
The fancy dribbling from Thompson. I mean, showing he's not afraid to take some risk on offense.
To the middle. Out to Oubre. To the inside. Pass to James. Fires the 3. And the three-pointer goes. James has got 6.
You can't help but look toward their defense. They're totally lost.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Now here's Drummond. Yet to see a basket. James, that's good.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Here's Thompson. A dependable player on offense, giving them over 13 a game. And it's Green missing.
You kind of wonder where his head's at. The shot selection hasn't been there. And, of course, that one was just crazy.
Drummond finds James. Back to Drummond. Now James. The three-pointer off the mark. Outside Eason. Pass to Green. 1:56 left in the opening quarter. Pure from three-point range. He's got 6.
He's in a hard stumble out of the gates. That's only his 2nd bucket in 10 tries.
Inside. Clark, it's special getting to call LeBron James games. How is the King still doing this at this age?
B.A., I think there are guys that come along every 30, 40 years that are just different than other guys, other players. He's in that category, one of the all-time greats. And he's just been remarkable. Certainly DNA has a role in his longevity and excellence, but you got to give him a ton of credit. He's committed to being at a high level for a long time, and it's remarkable to watch him do what he's doing at this age. Guys, I tell you what, just really enjoyable watching LeBron still do his thing. I mean, we're witnessing extended greatness.
Both free throws good from James. Clark in the post. Drummond defending. Oh, Clark with the slam.
Not the tallest center in the league. He more than makes up for it with those crazy hops.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Lakers.
To me, it's been the ball movement. That's been the key. I mean, going from good to great. Not settling for a good shot, making that extra pass, keeping the defense off balance, and taking great shots.
And on top of that, they've been dialed in from deep. And if they keep it up, it could be a big night for them.
Well, you better stop the ball, especially when it's LeBron James with it. That guy is pretty good.
Three-pointer. And it's Shepard missing. The Lakers lead by 23. 1:07 left in the first quarter. Kicks it out to Hardaway. Takes a 3, and he buries his first look.
Oh, it's just waiting threes for them early.
Lighting it up from outside. Hard to keep up with this.
Here's Whitmore. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yes, slashing toward the hoop. Whitmore not hesitating when he sees an opportunity.
Drummond with the ball. He's picked up by Eason. James. That one's in there. Drummond with the assist. James has got 34.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They should continue to ride the hot hand.
Here's Whitmore. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. It goes on Tim Hardaway.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
No question about it. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
Drummond against Clark. Pass to James. Back to Drummond. James outside. 4-3. And the Lakers hit again from deep.
Lackluster defense, showing no desire to chase shooters off that line.
And those triples, they sure do add up quickly, don't they? I mean, they've got to make some kind of adjustment here.
Here's Drummond. Here's Christie. Oh, and the buzzer beater is good!
It just nails the three. Way to close the quarter.
Talk about lifting up a team and energizing them at the end of a quarter. A three at the buzzer, that'll do it.
And so it's Los Angeles, cruising into the next quarter with a 30-point advantage. The hustle they've shown on defense has been tremendous. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this. We're just 3 quarters away from finding out who will advance to the NBA Cup championship game. And for the Lakers, this has been the game they wanted to have.
Well, their offense is clicking so far, capturing the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
So the Rockets 5 now. They've got Shepard, Brandon Clark out there with Tari Eason. Then there's Whitmore, and it's Green in at the 2. Drummond for 3. It's hauled in by Houston, coming off a win against the Blazers.
Talk about strong offensive production. They went out, played to their strengths, and were successful as a result.
Yeah, you know, not deviating from the game plan is critical. You've got to trust in the system.
Oh, got that bucket in no time at all. Drummond's got 6 points in the quarter.
12 straight points off threes. This defense is not extending very well.
You know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
And another 3 for the Lakers.
Boy, excellent recognition from Hardaway Jr. to find his teammate there. This guy's an unselfish player.
Here's Whitmore outside. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. Drummond's got 7 rebounds in the game.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And he comes up with a bucket.
He's finally leaving that dismal first quarter behind him. Took him a while to get going.
And here's Green from the arc. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 8 rebounds in the game. Launches it. And another 3 for the Lakers.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
It's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Here's Whitmore. And miss after miss right now.
It's obvious they're becoming frustrated. Nothing seems to be going their way.
You know, guys, no denying it's been a rough patch here. I think they've got to run whatever is best in their playbook to get a good shot.
Back-to-back threes, making their defense work on the perimeter a bit.
Pass to Eason. Outside, Green. Houston with another miss.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Drummond for 3. Drummond, great positioning on the putback. Drummond's got his first points of the night.
There are a few men in the league that attack the glass as well as Drummond does. He's almost unstoppable chasing down second points. He's a tenacious and ferocious offensive rebounder.
And that one's good. Green.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
Drummond for 3. Sinks the tray. Drummond's got 20.
They've had a hard time shutting down the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
Oh, rejected by Drummond. Drummond against Green. Count that one. He's 8 for 10 from the field now.
He drops yet another dime, just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Whitmore's gone just 1 for 4 so far. Here's Drummond. Oh, it's stolen. Green with the ball. He's picked up by Hardaway. And it's Shepherd missing. So it's Los Angeles now. They've only given up 2 points this quarter. They're getting their first look of the season at the Rockets in this one.
Talent-wise, they've got the upper hand. I mean, they won every matchup between these teams last year.
Guys, they deserve a lot of credit for not losing focus and letting one slip away. They came to play every time, and I expect that'll be the case tonight.
And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Well, guys, teams are all grappling with this new CBA, especially the dreaded second apron. Fans possibly unclear on what it means. Honestly, even front offices are still navigating the complexities of the new restrictions. But basically, it has become harder for teams to spend big and acquire new players under the current systems. We'll see, guys, how this impacts everyone moving forward.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. All right, Shams, thanks a lot.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
And that one's good. Whitmore. So it's Los Angeles now. Takes the three. And another three for the Lakers.
Clutch buckets. He's paving the way as they hit the home stretch.
Houston has gone 1 of 4 from three-point land here in the second. From deep. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got his 6th rebound on the night.
So hard, actually impossible to cut into the lead when you have a guy struggling this badly.
You got to move past that one. I mean, they'd want him to take that again.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down. You know, he's been off tonight, off his game. At this point, he might want to focus on creating for others.
Drummond for 3. Sinks it from distance. Drummond's got 33.
That's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
And Houston is shooting a rough 29% from the field here. Here's Shepherd. That one falls. He's now 1 for 3.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
Drummond for 3. And again for 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
Well, Houston's shooting just 27% in the second quarter. A clear look for Green. The wide open shot is on the money. Green's got 7 points for the quarter. Clark, what catches your eye about Jalen Green at a fundamental level?
Well, it starts with his pure explosiveness. That just jumps out at anybody because he's jumping over everybody, okay? The way he can get up and down the floor and hang and lift. And that's what stands out, his athleticism. And he's actually rounding off some of the rough edges in his game that makes him kind of scary as we go forward. Man, what a pass that was there. He really, really relishes making the game easier for his teammates.
Drummond for good. He hits again.
What a scoring performance.
Breaking the 40-point threshold yet again. He's done it the 5th most times in NBA history.
Yeah, 88 times in all, matching the Laker great, Elgin Baylor.
And that was good. Whitmore.
This is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
The shot by Drummond, no good. Houston has gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. Oh, it's blocked. It deflects off the backboard. Three-pointer. He buries it from 3. Drummond's got 45 points.
Wow, 5 consecutive threes. This defense looking very frustrated right now.
Most teams get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open looks at the three-point shot, but it seems like they have just not figured it out.
And that one's good. Whitmore.
That right there, that's the kind of look this system is designed to create.
And here's Drummond. He has 45 points. And Los Angeles another 3.
Getting buckets at a critical time. Just give him the ball and let him go to work.
Houston has gone 3 for 7 from the perimeter during the second quarter. Outside, Green.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Here's Drummond. Pass to Hood-Schifino. There's the 3. And another dime for him. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
He's doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
Houston shooting just 35% from the floor. Clark outside. Back to Whitmore. There's the drive. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. Christie passes to Drummond. Here's Hood-Schifino. Back to Drummond. Out left to the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Christie. That one falls. Coming off a Drummond feed. Christie's got his second bucket of the night.
And give their offense some love. They've been the more efficient team.
Well, you know, it's been all high percentage shot for them so far. I mean, just the kind of execution you want in the first half.
Now here's Green. He's got 13.
Risky strategy here. I mean, shifting their offense more to the outside, we'll see.
Really good point. I mean, you want to keep that balance, and attacking inside creates space for shooters, and having shooters creates opportunities inside, so it works hand in glove.
Drummond finds Drummond. Again! What an avalanche! And that gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
We've got 1:28 left in the first half of basketball. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Green for 3. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. Drummond's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2. It's going to be on Tari Eason. Los Angeles shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. That free throw no good. And the Lakers with some changes. Russell's checked in for Hardaway. James comes in for Christie. And it's Kelly Oubre in for Hood-Schifino. And a new group getting ready for the Rockets. Alperin Sengun's checked in for Clark. Smith comes in for Eason. Bain, he's checked in for Whitmore. And it's Amin Thompson in for Shepard. Now here's Bain. A steady force on their offense, recording around 14 and a half a game.
Wide open, and still, surprisingly, he wasn't able to cash in.
Drummond for 3. And it's Bain with the rebound.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
For 3, Smith. Rebound by the Lakers. 30 seconds left in the second quarter. Fires the 3. The shot by Drummond, no good. And so it's Bain who brings up the ball for Houston. Pass to Green. 15 seconds left to play in the half. Into the lane. Another miss. They desperately need a bucket. Drummond for 3. Another one goes. Incredible.
And he's been dominant so far in this one.
Shouldering the offense, really taking it to the opposition. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers making this game a no contest. They poured it on early, and they've never let up. Their efficiency has been off the charts. They're running their sets well with patience and purpose. And don't go far. We'll be right back.
Please direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fans half court shot from the line. They're measuring up the shot. Next time. win.
Welcome to halftime. First order of business, catching up on the injuries around the league. And something out of left field for you guys.
Ernie, left field, this is not baseball. This is a basketball show.
So it's like from the backcourt, maybe like from the corner?
Okay, let me do this over, okay?
Yeah, because I'm kind of lost.
From the opposite end. Oh, wait, we ran out of time for the segment. Can't even ask the question.
See,
Too bad. Now we'll take a look back at our featured game. That was quite a performance for the Lakers.
I'm not going to say this game is monumentous, but I will say it's BWT. And for those who aren't familiar with BWT, that stands for Better Win Tonight. Win or go home. Nobody wants to be sent packing. I'm telling you, this is big. This is big.
Kenny, I think you're starting to adopt Shaq's propensity for Shaq creation of Shaqronyms. You see what you did there? You can use that one too, big fella. Monumentous.
I like that.
Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And we welcome you back as we get set to bring you second half action from the NBA Cup. And the Lakers with possession here. James is out there with D'Angelo Russell. Then there's James, then there's Kelly Oubre, and it's Drummond in at the center position. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. James passes to Drummond. James against Smith. Here's the three, and the Lakers hit again from deep.
Hey, I really like what I'm seeing from LeBron here tonight, keeping it simple. He's going to the hot hand, which is him. That's pretty good.
Now here's Green. Pass to Bane. Lets it go from deep. James with the rebound. Bane's gone just 1 of 6 shooting so far. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, LeBron James last season set the record for most all-star nods in NBA history. He said, quote, "I'm blessed to do what I love and just to try to give back to the game that's given to me over 2 decades. Long ago, I exceeded anything I ever dreamed of being in the NBA. Everything else is just extra credit." Brian?
Thanks, Allie. Green for 3. Drummond grabs the miss. So it's Los Angeles now. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. And there's James from the arc. And Los Angeles, another 3.
Loses him with the bounce and doesn't look back. What a pretty move.
Houston has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the third. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
On the wing, Bane, looking to win the run. The Rockets again can't hit.
They've been unable to hit anything this half. 3 attempts and 3 misses.
Drummond with the ball, guarded by Smith. Green against James. And again, another assist.
Another possession, another assist.
Man, is he sharing the ball well, hitting his guys right in their spots. Outside Bane. Back to Green. Looking to end this cold spell. And it's hammered home by Green.
Green just levitates to the rack. A 40-inch plus vertical will allow you to do that.
Drummond passes to James. And again.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Just putting on a show. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Pass to Green. The 3. Rebounded by the Lakers. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
Trying to get it going. Only 1 for 5 to start the second half.
James outside. Another possession, another assist.
25 assists. What an unselfish performance.
Looking like Scott Skiles right now with all these dimes. Pass to Green. Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. From deep, Bain buries it from 3. Bain's got 6 points.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
James deciding where to go with it. Good! Another from 3.
He's been on the money from deep.
Definitely. Looking to shoot as much as possible. The Rockets have got just 2 of 6 in the second half. And here's Green from the arc. Another 3 from Houston.
And it looks to me like he still has some of the shooting touch that he displayed in the first.
Out to James. Back to Drummond. Pass to James. Here he goes. Goes up and lays it in. Nice and easy. James has got 58.
And they've come out of halftime really on a roll.
Thompson passes to Smith. Bain with it. Smith finds Bain. Shot clock at 6. And it's Green missing. The Lakers have gotten off to an incredible start in this half. 8 of 8 from the floor. Drummond passes to James. From about 19, another bucket. Wow! 60 points. This guy can't be stopped right now.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
And it's Green with the ball for the Rockets. They've got the Heat ahead of them in their next game in Miami. That'll wrap up this short 2-game road trip. Pulls up, high post. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Pass to James. And got it! Another basket! That's 62 points. 62.
Amazing. A remarkable performance from him so far.
Here's Green. He's got 18. Here's Şengün. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 13 rebounds in the game. Glass eating. Now, here is James. The 3 is up. That one's good from James on the assist from James.
Wow. What can you say?
And for the Rockets, they're shooting a low 31%. Their offense is lacking. Here's Green. The shot's good. Green's got 7 points here in the quarter.
Excellent job by Green finishing through that contact.
Drummond for 3. It's rebounded by Houston.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Green against Oubre. Kicks it out to Bain. Smith with a screen on Russell. The 3 from Bain. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 14. Yep, 14 rebounds for him tonight. It's rebounded by Houston. Bain's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Pass to Green. Smith outside. Now Thompson. Oh, trying his luck from deep. Rebounded by LeBron. James has got 9 rebounds now. Drummond for 3. Thompson pulls it in. And for the Rockets, they're shooting about 31% here in quarter number 3. The quick look, no good that time. Thompson's gone 1 for 6 shooting from the field. Here's Drummond. Sinks the 15-footer. Drummond's got 57 points.
So good at getting to his spots and then cashing in, making the game look easy.
Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
And here's Green from the arc. Rebounded by LeBron. James has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Drummond against Şengün. Drummond with the bucket.
Major dominance, and it comes so easily for him. Fantastic at getting to his spots on the floor.
Now Thompson, pass to Green. On the wing, Bain. Launches a three. James with the rebound.
He just keeps firing from distance. I know he's trying to heat up, but at what cost?
Here's Drummond. Oh, another one falls.
Oh, make that 61 points.
Everything is going his way right now. And Houston is shooting a low 30% from the floor. Outside for Green. He drops it from range. Green's got 10 points in the quarter.
And he's single-handedly trying to keep them alive. Terrific scoring quarter. Will it be enough, though?
Drummond with the bucket.
Yeah, this period, they're letting him go to work, and it's paying off.
Green with the ball. Give him 23. Outside Bain. Şengün, a screen on Oubre. Green, the pass to Şengün. And Şengün throw it down.
Excellent in the screen and roll. Şengün with a wide base and natural strength, and he makes excellent decisions with the ball.
Connects again from distance. Man, he's really launching him from outside the arc.
Man, so locked in, feeling confident in his three-point shot tonight.
And here's Green from the arc. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got his 16th rebound on the night. To the paint. Yet another bucket.
And that's 70.
He is unconscious. We've got 1:48 left in the third. Down low. And Şengün throw it down.
Şengün finishing with authority. There you go, big fella. Make him feel you.
The NBA becoming more and more global, Clark. Şengün, a perfect example of that.
Yeah, Alperen Şengün out of Turkey. Right now on the fast track to being the best player to ever come out of his homeland. So still very young, but boy, his future is quite bright.
To the paint. Stolen by Thompson. Over James. Second chance effort. And it's finished off by Thompson as he lays it in. Thompson's got his second basket.
You see there, Thompson does a good job of sneaking into the lane and finishing.
Drummond passes to James. Good! That's another bucket!
What a game from him. 72 points.
And he's been simply sensational throughout this one. Time called here. The Rockets decide to talk it over. And the Lakers will go for a different look here. Vanderbilt's checked in for Drummond. Connect comes in for Russell. Hood-Schifino's checked in for James. And Reeves is subbed in for Oubre. Pass to Clark. Lays it up and banks it in. Clark's got 7 points in the game.
Getting the ball inside, usually a pretty good recipe.
Outside Vanderbilt. Here's James. And it's James with the jam.
Add this game to LeBron's extensive career highlights. I mean, he's had plenty of big nights like this, but it never gets old.
Outside Bain. Let's go with a three. Drains the triple. 9 points in the game.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Here's James. Screen by James. 3 seconds left. At the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. This one may have already been decided. It's Los Angeles delivering the blowout. All right, we're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of quarter number 4 next. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Now, I know he's a big man, but he's got some point guard in him if he's making passes like this.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
Welcome back. One of these teams just a quarter away from punching their ticket to the NBA Cup championship game. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. They've got Tari Eason. Desmond Bain is out there with Whitmore. Then it's Jalen Green, and it's Shepard in at the 1 spot.
The rebounding numbers make it obvious why they're in front.
And you know what? That tells the story in a lot of games, guys. And here you go. It's telling the story tonight, too.
Has to connect. More and more, we're seeing international players come into the league who are NBA ready, Grant.
It really is a sight to see, BA. And some of those guys start playing pro ball when they're 16 or 17 years old. It toughens you up real quick playing against older competition at that age.
Here's Whitmore outside. Rebound by the Lakers. Drummond's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Here's Reeves. And he tries it off the glass, but it's no good. The Rockets shooting around 33%. Not the best offensive efficiency. Rebound, the Lakers. Back to Hachimura from the arc. And once again, off the mark by Los Angeles. The Rockets have gone 0 for 3 in this fourth. Not good. Here's Shepard. No luck on that one. Good D by Vanderbilt. Los Angeles has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Has to connect. Back to Reeves. That shot is off. So it's the Rockets now. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still. Whitmore. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
Offense has been hard to come by so far. A much-needed bucket right there.
Yeah, it's been a defensive battle to say the least, partner. Good to see at least somebody got the ball in the basket. Finally.
Let's get an update on Amen Thompson from Allie LaForce.
Thanks. I caught up with the head athletic trainer for Houston. We do now know that the ankle is twisted. He's trying to walk it off, but we have no further information at this time. It's a blow to a team that was hoping to turn up the second half of the season. This is a story that we'll be following very closely.
Well, and Allie, it appears that he needs some work done before he comes back to this one.
And we all know that if it's something he can play through, he'll be back, no doubt.
Has to connect. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Reeves. It's hauled in by Houston. Easton's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Bain finds Green. Grant, it seems like teams today are much more data-driven than in years past.
Yeah, I agree, B.A. It's much more sophisticated. And, of course, coaches and executives are still watching the games and forming their gut opinions. But now those impressions can be cross-checked with the numbers.
Pass to connect. Vanderbilt with a screen. And it's Connect missing.
Trying to close out. You got to know who's hot and who's not.
Here's Green. And it's hammered home by Green.
A gifted athlete with an explosive first step. Green is at his best when he attacks off the dribble.
Pass to Vanderbilt. Here's Connect. From deep, Reeves. Offensive rebound to end the cold spell. And it's Connect missing.
This is not his quarter. He needs to give up some touches and recalibrate.
Can't get it to fall. And for the Lakers, their shooting has been incredible, 72%. Outside Vanderbilt. Here's Drummond. And again, the Lakers, no good.
Take what's available. Use the fadeaway when the defender's there on you.
Here's Shepard. Driving to the basket. Vanderbilt pulls it in. One side is dominated tonight.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job of imposing their pace and style of play.
Boy, this team is comfortable with Reeves running the show. He's an excellent decision maker.
Offensively, it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Eason can't get it to go.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
And he's got to find other ways to contribute then, because his shot making is not happening right now.
Pass to Reeves. Lets the three fly. Nails it from three.
This is what it's been since halftime. Remarkable results from downtown.
Boy, it's been a three-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped.
And that one's good. Green.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Hachimura outside. On the wing, Reeves. No one near him. And the Lakers tack on two more.
Zero hesitation from Reeves that time. He never lacks confidence.
Left side, Green. Tries again. And that's 2 points on the layup. Green's got 6 in the quarter.
Second chance points are always painful. Have to make the effort to box out.
Hey, guys standing around spectating, I mean, you got to get in there and get tough.
One constant in the NBA, Clark, the constant movement of players.
Yeah, I think you've got to try to look at the positive side of that, the freedom that players have to play where they choose to play in many cases. I think that's the right of any employee, to be able to go where they feel they can best optimize their individual and team situations. I think it allows teams to rebuild on the fly and get competitive more quickly. I like that aspect of it. I don't like to see it overwhelming a season, but I do like the fact the players have that option and that freedom.
And the Lakers making a change here. Christie's checked in. Good on the second one. And the NBA has made a significant investment in the G League over the years. Grant, you can really see the impact it's had.
Yeah, BA, and it's grown into a real minor league for the NBA. The NBA needed something like that for a long time, and it's helped the product.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Woo! His energy is unmatched.
And, you know, you're going to get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that ball up the court as fast as you can.
And it's Green missing.
I don't know if you can credit the defense for that. It was just a missed opportunity.
Pass to Hachimura. Reeves with the ball. The three is up. Eason pulls it in.
You know, guys, you can tell he wants to contribute more, but his teammates have picked up the slack for him. That's what being on the team is all about.
Green for three. Knocks down the long J. Green's got 9 points in the quarter.
He made 3 triples in the first half, 3 more since then. I tell you what, you can't shake your head at that.
Inside, here's Reeves. Green with the defensive effort. Houston has gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range. Pass to Smith. Reeves against Şengün. Over Reeves. Christie with a rebound. Well, Los Angeles shooting 71%. Their offense has looked unstoppable all game long. And we hear about the unwritten rules of sports sometimes, Clark. What are some of those in the NBA?
Well, you try not to ever foul an airborne player. I think most players are really sensitive to that. Don't disrespect the other team. Be professional and sportsmanlike when you've got a margin of victory that doesn't need to be added on to. In other words, don't run up the score. Don't try to get numbers for the sake of numbers. Play the game, play to win, and do it with respect at all times. Yeah, you know, he hasn't contributed well scoring the ball, but obviously his teammates have.
Reeves, the pass to Hachimura, and it's slammed in by Hachimura.
That is big time by Hachimura. No mercy at all.
Thompson outside. Top of the key. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's. And here's Hachimura. Outside Reeves. Pass to Drummond. Clock at 6. Up and over Smith. It's wide right. Hits off the rim. The Rockets shooting 27% here in the fourth. Left side, Green. Smith with a screen on Reeves. And here's Green from the arc. And here's Eason. Thompson outside. Oh, he tries a three. Rebounded by the Lakers. Here's Connect. Pass to Reeves. And Grant, with the 65 games rule for player awards, it did seem there was a real reduction in load management.
Yeah, B.A., and I liked it. The stars played more early on, but we also saw a lot of them get banged up by the playoffs. So it seems there's still a balance to be struck.
Looking to get back on track, and it's good on the lay-in.
You know, inside is where Thompson excels, and the concentration allowing him to finish there.
Pass to Connect. Here's Christie. Here's Reeves. Green covering. Reeves against Green. And he makes it on the layup. Reeves has got 7 points here in the quarter.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Lakers.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
And so hard work pays off with their 26th win of the year. And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for D.
They couldn't have asked more from him, putting up the sick triple-double.
Pass to Smith. On the wing, Thompson. It's rebounded by Los Angeles. 32 seconds left to play in the fourth. Reeves, the pass to Hachimura. Here's Connect. From behind the arc. It's the trifecta.
Their home crowd has energized them all game. Now they're closing it out.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Şengün, the screen. To the middle. And Şengün throw it down.
He just rises up and throws it down hard with one hand.
That is such a go-to move for him. He holds nothing back on those.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
So we see the Lakers taking the W here. And this secures their spot in the NBA Cup Tournament Finals. What a season they have had so far.
And bravo to both teams for making it this far into the tournament. But only one team can be the best in the West and get to play in that championship game.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Clark Kellogg, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for watching the NBA, brought to you by 2K Sports. So long, everybody.
They really thought they had a chance tonight. They really thought they had a chance tonight. really thought they had a chance tonight.